Argentina's capital city was again a centre of world sport with the start of the 1978 Grand Prix motor racing season. It's a season very much to look forward to. Niki Lauda, the world champion with his new team Brabham, and James Hunt, who was coming good at the end of last season, winning 2 of the last 3 races, a strong hope to regain his world title. 24 cars line up in the sun. The temperature is 90 degrees on this track just outside Buenos Aires. In the final practice, the lap record was smashed by Mario Andretti, the Italian-American. His black JPS Lotus has pole position. On the second row, behind the local hero Carlos Reutemann, is John Watson of Ulster, driving one of Bernie Ecclestone's Brabham Alphas. The other Brabham, of course, has Niki Lauda in it. Lauda, the world champion, formerly with Ferrari, is on the third row. And alongside Niki is the previous world champion, James Hunt, in the McLaren. The race is scheduled for 53 laps. Right from the start, Andretti is quicker than anyone. As Andretti pulls away, Carlos Reutemann in the Ferrari leads the rest. After Reutemann come Peterson, Watson, Lauda, Lafitte, Hunt and Depailler. Andretti, 37, is streaking away, driving the same Lotus in which he won 4 times last season, but which also let him down in crucial races. Even on this second lap, there's no one near him. Rupert Keegan in the Surtees is already out. The car spun, the engine sucked in grass. By the 10th lap, Andretti is almost 10 seconds ahead. Watson's second now, having got past Reutemann, who's having tyre trouble. The battle for third place, Reutemann, then Lauda, and then Lafitte in the Ligier Matra. 14th lap, Lauda on Reutemann's tail. Watch how the world champion slipstreams Reutemann, then brilliantly pulls out, delays braking, and eases past. That manoeuvre must have given Lauda a lot of satisfaction as he speeds on and leaves his former teammate to struggle in the Ferrari. Now Lauda is pursuing second-place Watson. Andretti's car is functioning perfectly. Look how long it is before Watson comes into view. Watson, in the second Brabham, had problems last season. Twice he looked like winning. In the French Grand Prix, he was in front on the last lap and ran out of fuel. And at Silverstone, the car led for 3/4 of the way, then blew up. Watson's recurring problem is to get the car to the finish line. Watson is well behind Andretti, but he's also a long way ahead of the rest. Lauda is third, and behind him comes Patrick Depailler in the Elf Tyrrell, back on conventional 4 wheels instead of 6. In 5th place is Hunt, who's got past the fading Reutemann, who's now being pushed and passed by Ronnie Peterson, back with Lotus after 2 years and now Andretti's teammate. Hunt, leading this group, is looking for a good season. Towards the end of last year, he won 2 of the last 3 races and wound up the season with 3 wins, as many as Lauda. Now Hunt wants the title back, and to this end, he's cleared away some of his many other commitments to get himself totally fit for the long championship battle. He's been the quickest driver in the pre-season testing, and Andretti has tipped him as the man to beat. In this race, Hunt's 70th Grand Prix, his tyres are giving him a few problems. But they're not as bad as Reutemann's. After 27 laps, the Argentinian comes in to change the tyres which were never right. Afterwards, he forces his way back into 7th place. Depailler, one of 5 French drivers in this race, is chasing Lauda. But first, he's got to cope with a couple of back markers. Watch what happens now, as one back marker pulls out to pass the other, and then Depailler makes up his mind to pass both at once. A daring manoeuvre. With a quarter of the race left, Lauda has got past Watson and Depailler is threatening to. So Lauda is now second, some way behind Andretti. It's a position he knew well last season. He was second 6 times. That consistency won the world title. Dupaille has now also got past the unhappy Watson, and Brabham's hopes rest solely on Lauda. Dupaille sets out after the world champion. Lauda at this stage is 25 seconds behind Andretti. After 41 laps, Watson gives up. Once more, his Brabham fails to finish. But the other Brabham, with Lauda in it, speeds sweetly on in pursuit of Andretti. All Watson can do is curse his luck and walk away from yet another failure. With 7 laps to go, Andretti is courteously let through by tailender Brambilla. With victory in sight, Andretti is easing off slightly. There's no need to flog the engine. There's plenty of lead in hand. But behind him, Dupaille believes he can steal second place from Lauda. The world champion has other ideas. Just watch the skill and resolve of this remarkable Austrian as he totally outwits Dupaille. Fangio, former world champion, waits to flag the winner. It is, of course, Andretti, but Fangio mistakes Peterson's Black Lotus for Andretti's and gives him the checkered flag. But eventually, Fangio gets it right, and Mario Andretti wins the first Grand Prix of 1978 by 13 seconds, with Lauda second, Dupaille third, and Hunt fourth. It was Hunt, in fact, whom David Coleman spoke to first in the pits after the race.
James, it's hot work out there, isn't it?
Well, it wasn't as hot as last year, that's one thing we can say for it. It was pretty hot, but not too bad.
Did the heat produce any problems for you with the car?
Well, my left front tyre chunked quite badly all the way around, so I had a big vibration through the steering and no grip in the right-hand hairpins. But whether that was because of the heat or whether it was just a problem with the tyre, I don't know, because we were running the hardest front tyre available and other people were running softer ones and got away with it.
Of course, when Andretti got away like he did, there was no way anybody was going to catch him, was it?
No, he was gone. All we could do was hope he'd break down, but not this time.
The lowest you were down was about 7th, wasn't it?
Yes, I think I was 7th early on. I made a pretty poor start, I'm afraid.
What happened?
I just got it wrong, you know. Sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong. Starts are a bit like that, bit of a lottery, really.
Actually, just looking back through the records, you usually lead here, don't you?
Well, I was just thinking rather it's the way fate works. It's the first Argentinian Grand Prix I haven't led, and it's the first one that everybody else hasn't dropped out. It's traditionally won by the tortoise rather than the hare. It's the first time we've had a hare win it.
Still, you're satisfied to pick up some World Championship points?
I'm very happy. It's the first time for 3 years that I've scored points in the first race, so I'm not complaining.
Nicky, a marvellous start with a new firm.
No, I'm very happy. I think couldn't have done better because it just takes time to get used to a new team, and I just started, and I'm happy that I finished second.
How did the car handle?
I had no problem with the car at all. The car was perfect from the beginning to the end, and I'm only sorry about John's problem.
Patrick Dupaille, of course, was pressing you hard. Were you always secure, did you think, for second place?
Yes, I think there's no problem at all.
No, it didn't seem to be making much impression. It was always about the same distance in the closing stages.
Yeah, and if he would have come close, you know, the Brabham was getting very wide, and no problem at all there.
It must have been very satisfying to you to finish so far in front of the Ferraris today.
You know, frankly, I don't care, because the only thing I want is to win with the Brabham, because there I committed myself, and if the Ferraris are in troubles, you know, I'm not happy for them, but, you know, I'm sure they sort themselves out one day.
John Watson appeared to be going well. Do you think you were likely to catch him before his engine blew?
No, John was going very quick, and I was easing off in the beginning because I wanted to take it easy, especially with a full tank, not to do anything bad to the car. And John just pulled away, and then, you know, we just stayed together like we've been.